Hello everyone and welcome back. So again I skipped a day because there were things which didn't go my way, so had to make things come around. Now let's do some quick talk and I'll just go to some random talking after that. The first thing is that probably the lockdown would be increased here, that is in India. It has already been increased in all the other countries like US as well as I think some parts of Canada as well as Europe, I guess. So yeah, it's really hard to follow up, and I'm not currently doing it because, truth be told, it's kind of saddening when you currently constantly do one thing and one thing only. So I have currently decided that I'll take some time off from other things. Also, my internet is so bad. Basically, all the things that I can watch on the internet are things that are on Amazon Prime Video. I don't know how that service is very good, but it is literally starting off at 1080p HD for me, like within 5 seconds of the episode of anything or the movie starting. So only that thing is working very well in my internet, but rest all of the things are completely dead. Like I can't do software updates. I can't install stuff from the Play Store. I can't watch YouTube videos. Like if I put it to 720p, it will start buffering after like about 1 or 2 minutes. Like initially it kind of loads up, then if I go on playing, like if I keep it for a while, then it might play for longer, but it's pretty hard to deal with like that. And that is only talking about one person watching the video. Like I live with my parents currently, so my mom and dad, if they start watching on their phones as well, then obviously nobody's getting any bandwidth. Now one thing for the phone is that it's limited to 480p right now, so kinds of save some bandwidth, so I can just watch. But the demerit of having a 480p video is that you literally cannot make out anything which is like anything sort of a screen share. Now most of my YouTube watching consists of all these kinds of talks and all, so more or less any kind of talk if you want to watch on YouTube, they'll obviously have some kind of a screen share or some kind of a demonstration. Now if that person is like, what do you call, having some sort of common sense, yeah, all these bright people not always have proper common sense like to how people can see and all, so they would increase the font a bit. And one channel that I like particularly does it very well is fireship.io. Sorry, that is the site. The channel is Fireship on YouTube. Those people have very good sense of how people would understand. Like they have constantly increased the fonts over the time of this quarantine and all, knowing people are having lower quality videos. So that's one thing I think all the channels should always do, like in a regular basis. Like you don't know when the people are doing like getting into some kind of thing where they cannot watch that in the full resolution. Also another guy, Centex, that is Harrison, he also does very nice tutorials which include proper font which are human readable at lower resolutions as well. So yeah, those things are a bummer that you cannot deal with. Then all the online courses and all those things are even not even loading. So I'm currently thinking I'd buy some mobile data packs because at least my mobile data is working. I can still watch things on there. So at least it's not going to waste. My time is not going to waste. My internet pack was ending today, so what I did is, for fun, I started installing Arch Linux on my laptop. So yeah, that took me 4 hours. Now you know. So anyway, moving on to some, like these are all the playful things that I was supposed to say. Moving on to serious things. If the lockdown increases, I know for a fact that the supply chains are trying to be pushed back up so that people don't suffer out of hunger and all. Now there's a long lasting question that what would happen to the economy. Now we all know and we have to face it that it's kind of a bad day for the economy currently, as basically anything and everything we do to save the people requires them to be at home, which means zero productivity, at least from the people who cannot do work from home, like laborers and all the factory workers and everything. So in that way it's kind of harming the economy a bit. Like I saw a report which stated that currently in February 2020, the like industrial GDP was very high. So from that stage, going into a complete lockdown basically hit that sector probably the hardest, because if you are going up in something, you will just get absolutely thrashed if something like this happens. And also another sad thing is that some opening positions are being closed. So I applied for a few. Now I got a mail from them that they have pulled back that thing for now because of COVID-19. Now we all understand they cannot conduct interviews and all, but it's kind of a tough time for the others who are like quite looking. Then the people who are preparing for going to college and all. Now those things, as because college starts a bit late, they are having kind of a vacation at home as they always do. But the final year students are in a tough time because one, their exams are like delayed for a bunch of time. Then I think some of the 12th people and 10th people also have some exams missing. Now I think they would accommodate some way, but all these things are getting delayed, so they have to like kind of like, if you think about it, 2020 is kind of cancelled. Like, I'm not foreshadowing anything, like we are still in the fourth month, things are going pretty slow, which is kind of a sad thing. Now after this thing ends, the blow of this thing will go on forever, like at least a year or two, in my opinion. And also there are no medicines yet, there are no drug trials concluding that these things can be cured. So if this thing keeps on changing, which I don't want to happen from the core of my heart, believe me when I say, but talking practically, you have to stay aware of all the worst things that can happen on this. So yeah, like it's pretty much obvious that it's gonna be something very bad, and as because people are not like completely, they don't care. Some people are like they do not care. I saw a group of people, there are children, like probably teenagers, playing football in this time. Like I couldn't just, they were way too far for me to scream at them, but if I could, I would have. Now it doesn't make sense for me to go out there and scream, so what I did is call the club authorities near my locality. I hope they handle that situation. I don't know how much they could, but hopefully they did. If I see them again, I'd call the police on them. I don't care. I just want to, like, think about it. They're in the locality people. Like, if they catch someone or somebody passes by with that virus, they catch it somehow, let's say by interaction or something, and they bring it home. Then the next day they go out to play, they spread it among the children who play there. They bring it back to their home. The parents get affected. The parents spread it to other people. They go to the market. So that's how a community spread begins. We have to understand, like, the whole point of this lockdown was to stop this virus. Now if we just leave some small gaps, one person with the virus will come into the community and they'll basically poison the whole thing. There's a channel called 3 Blue 1 Brown. I also mentioned about them a long back, I think about third or fourth day, I forgot. So they made a very good model about inter community travel. Like they had a modeling on COVID-19, and they had a part where they included inter community travel. So those things completely, what do you call, ruin the thing that we are striving for. Because in India, the communities are very dense. We have the highest population density in the world. So we are at the highest risk as well. If people die, like people suffer and die in the developed countries like US, UK, and France and all. So think about the situation when that thing comes to us. We don't even have a funding. Like we don't even have a national proper funding. We are just relying on people's donations right now. Like if those things does not send a chill down your spine, you probably have no heart. So I don't know what to say to you. So there it is. Like you cannot take this situation lightly. I just urge anybody and everybody to stay home, stay strong. Like this is a point where you would get bored. Like you have probably ran out of TV series to watch, ran out of movies to watch, or ran out of people to video call. Yeah, that is the thing. Like how long can you like? Yeah, there are some things which you like catch up on people's connections. Like for how long do you do that? Like suppose you have 100 friends, let's say. That's a very good thing if you have 100 close friends who you can chat on video calls. So you talk to the 100 friends for like about 5-6 days, and you start repeating them, and after a certain time you'd obviously get bored listening to the same thing and same stuff about every one of them, hoping that if you are friends with those 100 people, you are probably in touch with those 100 people as well regularly, else they won't be like knowing you and all. So if you stack the odds against and for you, then you will get bored very soon. Social butterflies are the worst hit, like the extrovert social butterflies who like to go out and do things about. Now, for people who like to work indoors, like programmers as well as enthusiasts and hobbyists who basically have their own setup at home which they can completely work out of, those people are not affected. Example me, because I am basically kind of self-sustained when it comes to working at home, because I have things set up. I have already pre-required those things which I need for working effectively from home. So yeah, I'm having a bad internet, but that does not currently stop me from learning other things and all. So that is one way to deal with it. But the entirety of the nation is having a very tough time. If you talk about all the like lower middle class to the lower class people, like in the earning basis, I'm not causing any racism here, but if you think of those people, like they are probably the worst hit. They don't have anything else to do. Like, think about being locked down in your house and not being able to go out for 3 weeks now almost, and now I don't know how long it will go, because the number of cases are climbing constantly. Today it's about 6,300 ish. I don't know how long it will go out. It's a very tough time for people who are bored. You have to stay strong. Number of, like, another video by Akash Banerjee on YouTube, that guy showed up a statistic video on mental health and quarantine. So that's a very important aspect of it as well. People have to stay strong in this time and also not get weak as to the fact that it is increasing the loneliness among them. Some people are stuck out there. I don't know. I know a few friends of mine are stuck out their home. Like, they're probably alone staying there, which is kind of lonely as is. But if I urge, sorry, I would urge anybody having a friend who is out there, like all by his own, not having a partner or a roommate or flatmate, I would urge you to like call them up or talk to them at least once a week, at least, or maybe even once a day if you can. That would really help them stay out of the void. Just talk to them, stay happy, be happy, like make jokes, crack jokes, do some video call, play games with him or her. I don't judge. Girls also play video games. Like, play video games, online multiplayer games and all. Have fun. Just don't let anybody be alone in this time. If you are having some spare time, spend it with somebody else so that they can also enjoy the time with you and kind of make sure that they are not getting hard hit by this quarantine. This is a very hard time, and this is probably the worst test of the people in this century. Like, you have to stay there for the others. You cannot be self-centered at this time. We have to stand up for the entire humanity, entire citizens of India, entire citizens of the world. You have to think about everyone, you have to talk to everyone, you have to communicate with everyone, just to make sure that no one gets fall back. Like, yeah, some people like to stay alone, don't talk at home, don't talk for stretch. I am such guy. In case of things which I'm doing, like if I am working on some project which is very, like, has a deadline, or I have to like find something out, solve a problem, I'll just stay there for an hour. I just forget hunger and talking to people around. But this is the time that we should take out. Like, if I have those things, I'll take a walk or to call a friend of mine and talk to her or him, so that they just don't feel lonely. It's a very hard time for people. Like, there are some people who stay out, now they're at home. That is another tension for them, because maybe they don't like staying home. How you know? Yeah, so depression is a very hard thing to fight as well, but trust me, I know. So I hope that people are not falling back to that. People are staying strong, talking to others. Be happy, be cheerful, stay happy, let others stay happy, stay home, stay safe, don't spread. If you see anybody suspiciously doing anything, I would ask to report to the authorities immediately, because This is a hard time. We cannot let him. Just think of it. You wasted your 21 days staying at home. If somebody else ruins that, how do you feel? Report those persons who are trying to ruin this 21-day hardship work of the entire nation. Yeah, exactly. You have to think it like that. If somebody is violating quarantine, I would request to call the authorities, like the nearest police station or anything, so that they can come out and just instruct them once, twice, thrice, and probably they'd arrest them. How? Just put it in a jail cell, because that way they would be not spreading the disease if they have it. Our country is kind of giving the adequate healthcare now because the cases are low. If that thing goes out of hand, we have no idea how bad this thing will be. Let's not test that. Let's just be a bit, like, what do you call, kind of thinking pragmatic. I am not a loss of words as seeing what the people are doing. This is a diary video, but I'm not counting days anymore. We don't know how long this will last. But for a fact, the day is April 9th, 2020. That's all you get. The number of days in lockdown does not matter now. All that matters is how the people deal with it. I hope the world survives. The world fights for it. I hope India fights for it very well. I hope the people just don't be knobheads and just do anything they want. Yeah, I'd bid you adieu. It's 10:30 p.m. right here, so good night to all the people watching from India, maybe. And if I can hopefully upload this video by tonight. See you. I yesterday said to you tomorrow. I won't say when I'll see you next, but see you soon.